Hello, and welcome to Technologies of Herbal Concentration and Extraction. I'm Professor Chris Muick, and I'm going to be your instructor for this class. Through the course of this class, we're going to examine how we can take natural plant matter and turn it into useful, desirable, and lucrative uh, commercial products. In this first video, I'd like to welcome you all, give you some information about the course, talk about the syllabus, talk about assignment submissions, talk about the lecture videos, and touch upon our labs. As I said, I'm Professor Muick. My office is located in ERC 257. If you'd like to have any office hours or chat with me, please contact me by email. We can find a time to meet. Lectures for this class are going to be given online through this format. As we'll talk about, you're responsible for watching these videos and then responding with a short comprehension quiz, which is due at 11:59 p.m. of the day of the lecture. The second half of the class will be conducted in lab, in person, in SCOB 190 from 1:30 to approximately 3:15 p.m. Attendance in these lab sessions is mandatory. The overall objective of this course is to introduce you to the science, technology, and practice of extracting natural products from materials. I want you, by the end of this course, to have not only theoretical understanding of these processes, but hands-on experience with the most common extraction techniques, some analytical methods, and process design considerations that should go into extracting things like flavor, fragrances, and other natural products that are ubiquitous throughout our modern economy. Particularly, I want you to develop a conceptual understanding rather than a mastery of mathematical derivations or complications, and understand how these concepts and the relationship between plant biology, chemistry, technologies control product quality, safety, and economics. Right? So the goal is not to make you a botanist or an organic chemist or a chemical engineer, but to expose you to these concepts so that you can move into this industry um, and have a good feet on the ground. Put this more succinctly, by the end of this course, you should be able to understand basic plant biology, basic organic molecules and their physical properties, and basic extraction methods. You'll be able to analyze yield, quality, and selectivity of your extraction methodology, and you will design small extraction processes. Lastly, you will be able to communicate your experimental results and explain why you constructed an extraction process the way you did. If there's if there's one large takeaway from this course, I'd like you to understand that plants make a variety of molecules. The chemistry of those molecules determines their behavior in terms of both desired properties that we as humans want to exploit, as well as the properties that dictate how we can extract them. Our engineering approach determines how we can get those chemicals, those molecules out of the plants. And of course, very importantly, that extraction can change the product and the distribution of those molecules. To this end, we will be talking in our first module about natural products and touching upon their extraction. We'll then go into botany and plant biology. We'll talk about chemistry and then engineering and separations. We'll talk about measurements and quantifications of analytical tools and substances before talking about safety in lab operations. The last half of the class, like I said, will be in terms of labs and our project. In the first 3 weeks, these will be online. I will provide objectives for the various units and content, and I'll share my notes with you via Canvas. There will be a short comprehension quiz on Canvas and one in-person uh, test at the end of the lecture period. This will be handled in person before one of our labs on our lab day. Labs will compose the rest of our class. These are in person, attendance is mandatory. We will begin the class with brief instructions. You will hopefully have read our pre-lab reports and instructions beforehand. During the labs, we will rotate through different experiments, getting your hands experienced with techniques such as different extractions, pressing, distillation, and some others. The last half will be a team extraction project where you'll be given material, plant material, and some extraction goals, and it will be your team's job to figure out how to do that extraction. A full syllabus can be found on the website. I just want to highlight a few pieces here. First, there are 5 different categories upon which you'll be graded. That midterm test that I talked about, the comprehension check, the final projects, labs, and participation, lab preparedness, safety, teamwork, and professionalism. The midterm will be 1 exam. The comprehension checks will come every day. Your project will be a team project, and the grade will be split into both individual and team components. And the labs will be worksheets and small reports to be completed. The grading scheme is the standard grading scheme shown here. Very quickly, work will be submitted online through Canvas only. Please submit early just in case there are any Canvas or issues. I want to take a second and talk a little bit more about participation, preparedness, professionalism, and safety. These categories will include things like completing the end of class evaluation, being ready on time for lab, participating in lab and teamwork in an active and constructive manner, and conducting yourself safely in lab. This is very important because safety should always be the first thing that we think about when we go through any industrial chemical process. In terms of professionalism, this means that emails, both to myself and the other students in the class, are written appropriately and professionally, and then you're treating the others in the class and in your lab groups with respect. All right, so as a summary of today, we've welcomed you, hopefully provided a bit of information about the course. We've talked about the syllabus, assignment submissions, lecture videos, and the lab. Don't worry, we're going to spend a lot more time talking about the actual content in the upcoming videos, and we'll introduce the project later in the class. Right now, you have 2 assignments to do. Firstly, go through and read through the full syllabus online. After you've done that, please complete the first assignment, which is acknowledging that you have read the syllabus and have understand the information covered in this video, as well as the syllabus as posted. Secondly, please follow up this introduction video with our first content video, which is an overview of natural products. Welcome to the class. I hope you have a wonderful and enjoyable experience as we explore natural products and herbal extractions.